you are meant to be attractive. Something's wrong. Every single person is meant to have an ideal anatomy, a body that looks good. So if you look in nature, you can see a bunch of animals, and I'm sure you've seen like animals of the same species gathering together, and they all look alike, and they all look beautiful, very majestic, astonishing, like in their own unique ways. You see a group of horses, and they are running on the wild, and they look amazing. You see a bunch of lions, you see birds just flying in the sky, and they look beautiful in their own unique way, because they are in nature, they are living the life that they're meant to have, and that shows. That's the beauty that they are living, the beauty of their life. And when you look at us as humans, as a species, you see the amount of difference that every person has in terms of their physical anatomy. Every single person has very distinctive body characteristics that makes them different, and in some cases it's not necessarily something good, because there are some features, some specific characteristics that are bad looking, that people get a sense of insecurity from, and they dislike, and these characteristics are not meant to happen. I'll give you an example. I mentioned before, a group of animals together gather in nature, they all look very alike, they look really alike, but you can distinguish one another because they are different. They have different DNA, different characteristics. If you look like very closely, you can tell one apart from another, but they all look like super similar to each other. They have a very similar anatomy, but humans, they all look very different. But if you look at the very attractive people in a very high level, they all share the same characteristics that make somebody attractive. They all share that same anatomy that makes someone look attractive, and that is because the same anatomy that's gonna make a person look attractive is the anatomy that looks good, because it's the healthy one. Health will always equal good looks, aesthetically pleasing physique or body. That's why it's pleasing to look at, because it's right. So now the question is, what is going on? What's going on that's wrong, that's making some people have these undesirable characteristics that makes them look different, that makes them look bad? That's not ideal. In order to understand this, we need to see the difference between animals and us as humans. So first of all, we share a lot of similar characteristics to animals in terms of our body, but there's two main distinctions between the animals and us as humans that makes us apart. We have free will. We can make our own decisions, as opposed to an animal who just follows their instincts and doesn't have a consciousness, does not wonder, does not have responsibility of the actions he takes, cannot make a decision just based on their own free will, because they don't have it. They just follow their instincts as they were made. That's why an animal will always act accordingly to what's for their own instincts of survival or whatever they have to do. That's the same reason why you will never see in nature an animal that's doing something unusual. You'll never see an animal overeat or get fat. You'll never see an animal not bother to go out and hunt for their own survival and just lay all day and do nothing. No, they work. They follow their instincts. They go hunt. They go look for food when they have to. They rest when they have to. They eat when they need to. They stop eating when they not. They follow their instincts. They don't have any other choice than to follow that. That's the way they are wired. But us as humans, we can choose what we want to do. We have that conscience, we have that intellect that's far beyond them, the animals. So we understand things at a deeper level, and we're able to choose what we want to do. But those choices also have consequences and a repercussion to those actions that we take. So every action that we take can have either a positive or a negative effect on us and on the people around us. Input, output. What we put in, we get out. A lot of these undesirable characteristics that a lot of people have are a result of undesirable choices that they made, that at the time they will seem the easiest at the moment, but in the long run it was actually affecting them in a negative way. And a lot of the times we do all these actions unconsciously, like without even thinking, because we're ignorant about these things. For example, if a kid grows up in a household in which all they eat is fast food and vegetable oils and foods that are inflammatory and they are affecting the health of that kid, and he doesn't know it because that's what he's been told to it, he's gonna grow and grow eating those same things, and he's probably gonna get fat. He's gonna have health issues, skin issues, metabolic problems, because they're not eating something that's ideal to their body. So they can develop these problems, and a lot of people just confuse that and try to attribute that predisposition to genetics, which it's partially true because the parents will give their genetics, obviously, but they also give their habits and their lifestyle. So if a parent is, for example, overweight, they might give that predisposition to their kids not only through the genetic factor, but also through the lifestyle and the habits that they give to their kid as an example of the way they live, the way that they take care of the kid as he's growing up. The idea that I'm sharing with you guys, that I'm proposing, is that every aesthetic feature that looks bad comes from a bad decision that we implemented that goes against the natural way that we will ideally live to have a healthy lifestyle, and those decisions weigh on us. Theoretically, this sounds very great, and I am justifying this through a lot of the research that I've done through the years, understanding how the body works, what anatomy looks like, what makes a person attractive, what are undesirable characteristics that people have, and what makes them undesirable, and what effects that has on the health. What I've come to realize is every single characteristic that's undesirable is a sign of bad health all the time, and every single person can get healthier. A lot of people like to blame genetics, like to talk about genetics, and I think they think about it in a way that's not really the case, but everyone can understand that you can get healthier. I don't think anyone will argue that. If you get healthier, you will always look better. And people attribute things such as face shape or eye shape, nose shape, the teeth, the muscle insertions to genetic traits that cannot be changed. This couldn't be farther from the truth, because they can definitely be changed. A lot of people think that their facial structure, the way their body looks, is just completely genetics and they cannot change it. But at the same time, they understand that they can lose weight and that will change the way their body looks. At the same time, they understand that if they get, like, for example, a stroke on their head, it's going to deteriorate the muscles and therefore change the structure of it. But they don't understand that it's the same way the other way around, that instead of getting worse, you can get better by doing the right habits. But that doesn't mean that it's easy, because the right habits, it's gonna put you out of your comfort zone. Because if you don't look that way right now, it's because you are not doing something that you must do. If all we do is lay at bed all day, drive to work, sit out at the desk, come back, drive in, and then lay at bed once again and then go to sleep, what kind of lifestyle are we living? Instead of moving, doing physical exercise, getting some sunlight, eating foods that are whole foods, that are nutritious, then it's gonna have an impact on your body. And you can always change that, and you can always improve that. If a kid grows up skinny, people will say, well, he just has skinny genetics and it's hard for him to gain weight. But I can assure you that same kid, when he was growing up, not having any junk food around the house or anything that will put them in a calorie surplus. Because if the kid was in a calorie surplus, then he wouldn't be skinny. It's that simple. Eating foods that are very high in calories, that are detrimental to the metabolism of the individual, then he will get fat. Regardless of the genetics, that doesn't matter. The predisposition comes from the lifestyle that the person is brought up into, that grows up into. I'm proposing this idea because with the years of research that I have done, understanding these factors, especially about the maxilla, the way their faces grow, the craniofacial dystrophy, the stretching, anatomy, working out, building muscle, all these things that align together, health, nutrition. Once you start to connect everything and understanding how the body acts as a whole, you understand that everything is related to each other. One thing will affect another. And at the end of the day, it's all health. If you do something that's good, that's going to get you healthier, it will get you healthier in every single aspect. It will just help the cause in every single way. So it's just about getting healthier. And then it's understanding what health actually looks like. And a lot of people, when they think about health, they only think about exercising, sleeping, and eating well. Yes, those are the three biggest factors. But a lot of people, because they keep believing this lie that the way their structure of their body is completely genetic, that is false, because it can be manipulated and it will have to adapt to the posture in which your body is at. Then it's important to understand that you cannot neglect that as well, because health anatomy is a thing, and the healthier your anatomy, the better it looks. So if you have a good looking body in terms of facial structure, anatomy, muscle insertions, that means that it's in the correct place, and that will be the healthiest place it can be, and it's gonna improve the quality of the life of the individual, and it's gonna decrease immensely the probability for that person to have any sort of disease or health problem, because their body is working ideally how it's meant to be. Especially talking about any sort of knee pain, back pain, neck pain, all these problems that really haunt people when they are growing older because of lack of movement, lack of mobility, lack of flexibility. That's why people start getting these sort of problems as they age, because they start moving less, and their posture deteriorates, and their facial structure starts to grow in length, and then start breathing less, and then start to get all these problems of health. They mainly comes out of the change in lifestyle and habits. Going back to the example with the animals, the biggest difference is that the animals, they cannot make their own decisions as in an act of free will. They just follow their instincts. So that's why in nature, every single animal will be beautiful, because that they're following the life that they're meant to have. They're just following the orders, and they cannot do a bad decision because they just follow their instincts. But we can, if we act out of selfishness, out of laziness, out of wanting to do what's easy at the moment and not caring about the future of ourselves, then we can make wrong decisions that are gonna impact us in the future, that are detrimental. And the decisions of the people around us also are going to impact our upbringing. So that's important to understand, that our decisions also affect the lives of others, and the decisions others make will also affect our lives. But the best thing we can do right now is understanding this and making the effort to improve in our own lives, so that others can be benefited and we can too be benefited. So maybe when you were a kid, if you didn't have the best upbringing, that doesn't matter, because right now you can improve. Right now you can choose to keep getting better and set that example for others to follow, so that when the time comes, you can help them like that, because you've already grown out of that place, because you can. It's all decisions, it's all habits, the way we choose to express our free will, either by doing the good or by doing the bad. Once we understand this premise, these principles, now it's all about understanding the technical side of it. That's why I'm currently putting all my effort into studying about anatomy, muscle insertions, and everything about the body to further expand my understanding about how to reverse these things, which that's my project. That's where I'm working towards. I now understand that it's gonna take time, and I want to do the best so that I can help you with these things too. But the first step is understanding and realizing that our decisions matter. And if you always choose to improve every single day, imagine how much that's going to compound every single time. If you start working out every single day, I can assure you, you're gonna get better looking. Your body's gonna get stronger every single day, every single day. But if you put excuses from the start, then what's the point? You're never going to improve. You're gonna remain in the same place, but at the end of the day, that's gonna be your choice if you want to do that. But if you build those habits, you are eventually gonna be at a better place. Start choosing to drink more water, to eat the right foods, stretch more, to work on the areas you are neglecting, to move more, to stop using your phone all day, instead going outside and enjoy nature. Enjoy the beauty that the world is. Look at the sunrise, look at the sunset. You will realize how much the quality of your life starts to increase, and the health of your body will also increase, and it's going to show not just outwardly but also inwardly, the way you feel, the way you perceive your life and others, and people are going to notice, and your life will just simply become better. And you can do that by choosing to do what's right, and I know you can, man.